Okay, welcome everybody. As probably most people in the room and online know, it is May Day, and so we've lost probably about half our people to May Day, but life is the way it is.
Okay, that's not a problem.
Okay,
They're doing,
Uh,
everyone's doing.
we do not have quorum. Let's just go ahead and go through the stuff. So welcome everybody online in the room. My name is Lee Cruz. I'm the chair of the Fairhaven Management Team. Just want to remind people to mute your microphones if you're on Zoom. Use the chat box to introduce yourself if you have not done so already. I see some people already have done that. And then we're going to ask the secretary to call us to order.
Oh, the
I'm sorry, to do the roll call.
Lee,
Present,
Patricia,
not present.
Not here.
He's on the
Adam?
green. I'm here.
Christina, that's me. That's all I got.
That's all we got. So we do have the majority of the board, but okay, so let's go on. So introduce yourselves in the chat.
Wait, I forgot, Anna.
Anna is not
Yeah,
present.
and Anna's also on the green.
Oh, she
Hold on.
is.
So that mean they're not coming at all, they're just coming late?
It might be a mix, but that means we don't have form, so we can't ratify the minutes. I can't remember the last time. It's been over a year since we had to postpone ratifying the minutes. Okay, so let's move on. So we're not going to do the approval of the minutes. We do have a financial report. Who's going to read the financial report because Patricia's not here?
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't know that she wasn't here.
Yeah.
A lot of.
Well, I can tell you based on what you told me, there is no change,
Yes,
no
so there's
money.
been no expenditures for the month of April, and so our ending balance is $4,680.61.
Any questions about the financial report in the room? Any questions online?
Here, let me
Okay.
just share this real quick. So, yeah.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
Okay, so we're gonna move on, and then we're gonna go to, oh, before we go any further, you may have noticed we've reconfigured the room.
Yes, I like it.
Okay, so now if you're a presenter, we are gonna ask you to come sit in
Oh,
front.
that's a good idea.
And the logic behind you sitting in front as a presenter is you'll be facing the people in the room. The camera's facing you, so we'll see you online at the same time. So be the first example, Sergeant.
Yes,
Alvarado.
I will say, Chief Fetzi, come with me.
Come on up with it. Yeah, that's why we did two seats, right?
That's good.
We're very informal tonight, given the number of people.
Tough questions, man.
The floor is yours, gentlemen.
Thank you. This is the Assistant Chief of Patrol, Chief Fetzi. He's decided to join us today. I'll just go right into the report. So for cost for service, we're about 961 with 70 arrests, 3 robberies, no aggravated assaults, 3 burglaries. Our theft from auto is up from the 13 last month. Motor vehicle thefts is 6, same exact as last month. And firearm discharges at 3 and 0 murders. The theft from auto was up here, 126 Grand Avenue, right over here. Just got hit a bunch of times. They actually took somebody's credit card, used it in Target. I was able to get video of it. He bought an iPad, which has a serial number, which it's a whole process. We're in the middle of the court process, but we're hoping to get the serial. That iPad has not been pawned yet, but we're trying to identify the iPad. So hopefully, and we're pretty confident. They hit like 12 cars, and we're pretty confident it's the same person.
How did they get, I didn't hear, how did they get the credit card?
So they break the car windows and they rummage through the car.
Oh, and they had the credit card.
Yes, they had the credit card
Don't leave anything
in the car. So that was the car break-ins. Some vacant apartments were burglarized. Officers did a great job last week when I was on vacation. They went to Alderman Dole. This is the 3rd time in the last 4 weeks where we've been successful, or these baseboards where we just go to Alderman Toll and they're there. So we have an identification, we very well known homeless guy. So that's gonna be a warrant based on coming for him, but we also had successful, 2 warrants are pending for 2 separate people on that type of situation. Actually, yesterday, Armada Brewing has been having issues with people jumping their fence, grabbing their kegs.
Oh, wow.
And Alderman Dole actually is not accepting them anymore. So I saw him yesterday and we actually arrested somebody in that one too. So we're monitoring that. I did want to highlight a firearm arrest on April 12th on 112 Poplar Street. Officer, there was a firearm discharge out there, it was about 9 rounds, and officers did a great job. Found somebody that was very suspicious, intoxicated, patted him down, he had the gun, and that gun came back to that shooting. He got arrested accordingly. And then lastly, I don't know if you guys saw the recent press release, Eileen Marrero. She got arrested for manslaughter. She was the culprit in the killing of Russell McKenzie back in December of 2024, just 6 months ago or so, on Walnut Street, late at night. I briefed it when it happened back in December. Detective Magnano did a great job with that, and Eileen is, she's in jail. She's in the Fairhaven staple. Sure, you guys all have seen her around. Been a big quality of life issue for us, so she's going to be going away for some time. Other than that, we're monitoring the weather break-in. Obviously, there's more foot activity, there's more traffic. Trying to get some more enforcement action going on, and then I'll leave it up for questions, comments, concerns.
Any questions in the room? Any questions online? We're gonna go right now to see everybody online in just a second here.
Pleasure.
Okay, any questions online? I see Adam has raised his hand. Go ahead, Adam.
I was just curious. I swear I saw something recently about stabbing at Chris Cuolo.
Yes. Thank you for that. That was a couple days ago, actually. Non-life threatening injuries to the victim. The victim is not cooperative, is not giving us much information on it, but there is I don't know if you guys are familiar with that in the Lloyd Street by River Street. There is a homeless encampment by the water, and we believe it happened. We happened there. We're monitoring it, but and we have some video, but nothing to cooperate. He's not giving us much, but it's not life threatening.
Okay.
And on that aspect, I will say that same day, we executed 2 search warrants with the DEA on 262 Lloyd Street, which has been a big problem in Fairhaven, and 125 Monroe Street. We got drugs, a lot of drugs on Lloyd Street, and we got 3 guns out of Monroe Street.
Good, Dave. Monroe Street?
David Luriano was arrested on 125 Monroe Street yesterday. My days are off. Yeah, yesterday. So 3 guns were off the street, so that's a great job by the DEA, our task force.
I don't see any other questions online. I don't see any other questions. Oh, one more question in the room.
So wondering, I know that the police force has been significantly undermanned, underwomaned, under whatever, but then I also know that you've got new contracts. I'm just wondering if there's more workforce available to Fairhaven. Before you told me there were 4 officers on the night shift, and they were covering the east parts of, the annex in that area, as well as of what we call Fairhaven. So I'm just wondering where that stands.
That's a good question, Doctor. So basically, we definitely are, the light is there, right? The light is at the end of the tunnel. This is the most optimistic we've been in the police department in years. People aren't retiring, myself included, and there's people coming in. Assistant Chief at the end could attest to it. We definitely we're gaining people. We used to lose 20, gain 20 people, lose 20 people, gain 18, lose 18. Now we're losing a couple to retirement and then gaining 15, 20. So this is the first time 4 or 5 years, give or take, that's happened. So it's going to take a little while to get obviously up there, but we're extremely optimistic for the first time in 5 years.
But there hasn't been any increase in force here in Fairhaven yet.
Not specifically, but we are we're doing like more target enforcement. So we'll have our standard calls for service cops that are, responding to the radio, as necessary. But we are having, especially with the weather breaking, more crime suppression, quality of life beats. To address not the calls for service, but to address the quality of life. Especially Fairhaven and Clay. I know you guys there was a pedestrian struck on Grand Avenue by Maltby, the crosswalk there a couple weeks ago. But quality of life stuff, we are starting to ramp it up more on an overtime basis, not a regular beat though.
But with that said, we do have officers currently in FTL field training, right? And that is the chief's plan to add more police officers to Fairhaven once more officers get on the job. So we actually have about 89 people on the active list, right? So that has increased significantly since the signing of the contract. When I got on the job in 2001, 2,500 people took the test with me.
2010 was the same
Right,
thing.
and then after 9/11, we noticed this decrease, this decline, and people want to become police officers. But since the contract, the numbers are going up, so that's a good thing. So we're trying to have an academy of at least 20 in June, July, and then continue to hire. So the chief's plan is to get more officers in Fairhaven. It's not gonna happen all at once, but it's happening.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I see no more questions. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Our next presenter is actually online. It's Carmen, our LCI representative. And I'm gonna just put you up a little bit bigger here so people can see you. Carmen,
Thank
please
you.
report.
Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you fine.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I hope you're all doing well on this beautiful day. Have to report. You remember me? Excuse me?
Yeah.
You keep cutting out.
It's breaking up, so we're gonna have
Oh,
to
no.
get you a better mic. Go ahead.
Okay. So I don't know if you guys remember last spring, I talked to you about hitting Ferry Street very hard. And I don't know if you've noticed.
Okay, Carmen, we're gonna have
But-
to ask
You can talk.
you to ask the city for another mic or do something, because this is happening every month. You
This
wanna
is
start-
terrible because they tell me everything's working and they leave me with this equipment. This is awful.
Okay, now we hear you.
Now
Okay, now we can hear
Now you can hear me?
you. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So I'm gonna be very quick. So last spring I talked to you about Ferry Street and how we were gonna hit it really hard. I had been hitting
It's
all
all
of Ferry
good.
Street.
No, it's all forgotten. Carmen, it's really frustrating. So if you can't take that thing off and do it right on, are you on your phone or
Yes, hold on.
just do it directly from your phone? And I'll buy you one. How about that?
I can't turn it off. I don't know how to turn it off.
I can mute you if you want to just call in on your phone.
Okay, we'll do.
Okay.
I'll figure out how to
We'll move
call
on
in.
And just let us know when you're back.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, got it. Okay, next presenter is J1 Carter, but I don't see him.
I saw him.
He's there.
Yeah, he's in there.
He's online.
He's
Oh, you're on, perfect. Okay, perfect. I don't see where you are, but,
He's right there, to the right, to the.
Down.
There you go.
oh, there you are.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad you couldn't reach through and grab me because you were so close. Okay, this is J1 Carter, and he's from the Civilian Review Board. He is our representative on the Civilian Review Board. And I'll remind people, he comes in once a quarter to make a presentation on what's going on with the Civilian Review, the Police Civilian Review Board. So with that, J1, I'm gonna just make you, can you hear?
I'm here.
I don't know why I have. And,
Just click out of that.
yep. Johnny.
Yep, keep going. Keep
No,
looking
no,
out.
no,
Keep
no,
looking
no.
out. Keep looking out.
You kill John.
Just move it to the
It
bottom.
won't let me move it and it won't let me close it.
Oh, Look outside of it.
Yeah, that's what I did. How do I get rid of that box in the summer?
I have no clue what you've done, Lee.
Can you right click on the box?
Right click on the box.
Click on it, is there an X?
Right click, left click, nothing.
Escape.
Jawan, well, I'm trying to figure this out. If you could just go ahead and I apologize to have this box in the middle.
Click on the JC, the green JC.
It's okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm J1 Carter. I represent the Fairhaven District for the Civilian Review Board. For those who may not be aware what the Civilian Review Board is, it's a group of folks who represents each patrol district in New Haven. On top of there are some at-large seats that are designated, and then there's an additional seat for an alder person. And we meet once a month to go over data in regards to interactions with the police department and civilians. So we look at complaint forms or cases in which a civilian may have an unpleasant interaction with an officer, and we have the ability to not only review but make recommendations. So we meet every fourth Monday of the month at 6 p.m. City Hall, or is also their Zoom options. We did an assessment not long ago of attendance and people's commitment to the board. In regards for my commitment, my attendance is great. It's over 85%, and review cases is over 80%. So my dedication is there. So what does a typical case look like? There's cases in which people say, hey, the officer talked very aggressive to me. And we review the body camera footage to see how the interaction was. And then there's could be cases where there was moments where taser were put, or there was hands that need to be placed on an individual to get them to follow instructions. But our role is to make sure that the interaction with police is above ground, good due bounds. And it's all about having accountability from the civilian side and also the police department side, because there's some things that we could all learn with people interacting with each other. Any questions?
That concludes your report. Okay, any questions in the room?
We have something to add.
Okay, let's ask Alder to acknowledge Alder Franco Redente, please.
So one other thing that happened in our the meeting before last was that Mr. Carter said we were having problems with not only the attendance of members, but people actually going down to internal affairs and looking at the cases, and then they would try to monopolize time in meetings to talk about those cases. So I made a motion, it passed. So now if you don't go to IA, you have to recuse yourself from any conversation about that case. Because I just felt it wasn't fair. If you don't go down and study the case file, if you don't look at the body cam footage, if you're not digging deep into that case, why should you have an opinion on anything having to do with it? So we had some pushback, but ultimately majority won. So
What's IA?
internal affairs, which I gotta say that great staff down there. They're doing an unbelievable job, and they've been great partners.
Great. Any questions in the room about Jawan's report?
Mary Ann Moran.
Any questions online? Mary Ann, I see you. Please
Yep.
unmute yourself and ask your question.
J1, I just have a question. I live in Fairhaven. I've been here for 44 years. I love this neighborhood. And I think from what I see, we have a good presence of cops in the neighborhood. The cars go by, they're present. I'm wondering what you think about being able to put 20 or I think they said 20 new cops they're going to get. What do you think is going to happen with that kind of an addition?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. Did that conversation also happen with the assistant chief that's present as well?
Yeah, but I was just there, although that's an excellent question, Mary Ann, I think really that should go to the assistant chief.
So I just want to be clear, there's not gonna be 20 cops assigned to Fairhaven.
So
No, I know that.
people can't see you.
Yeah, I wanna be very clear.
Fairhaven.
There's not gonna be 20 police officers assigned to Fairhaven. we're gonna try to put 20 police officers in the next academy. And from that class, the chief's plan is to put some officers in for him, so there will not be 20 of them.
She'll actually see you
Oh,
if
that
you look
would
at the
be
camera.
nice.
And everybody in the room will see you. So,
Does that answer your question, man?
Yes. Yeah,
Oh,
I just wanted to have a sense of, it's great we're getting that addition, and I assumed it was going to be spread across the city because there are
Sure.
other neighborhoods that need more cops too, but I feel like the cops in our neighborhood have been very good about being around. I see the car going by. There's a visibility that we didn't have before.
Yeah, and if I could chime in too, Marianne, um, Chief Etienne and I, we have gone to a conference together about police accountability. And he actually guided me into some of the rooms on which ones I should pay attention and focus on because the presenters are great and it was good information. But I could tell you something about our city's training. They do a great job with setting the expectations in regards to how the officers must interact with the public. What I also notice in our district is the familiarity that some of the officers have with some of the folks in our district. Good ones, some that are that cause challenges in our neighborhood. We know what those are. And what I can say, there is a standard, and the chief doesn't take no mess. And I also noticed that there's ability for people to correct their actions, but if they're too egregious, uh, I've seen the fact that people have been let go.
Any other questions?
uh,
We got the assistant police chief right up here, and I see, Adam, that you have a question?
yeah, I was more for J1 and on the side of the civilian review board. So that Mary Ann's question kind of got me thinking is, it sounds like you're having some attendance issues with the civilian review board. And if we get a whole bunch more police citizen interactions, do you see that kind of like, do you have the capacity for what you're doing now? And would you have capacity for even more?
Good question. Um, Here's what I recommend. A fully functional board. Alder Rendite is actually the sitting member for the Alder seat. We need a full functional board. We need folks who are going to be dedicated, more folks that's going to be engaged. Although I do have a young family, again, my attendance, my participation is above board. I can't speak for everyone else's lifestyle and time management, but I do know that this is serious work. It's pro bono work, but the fact of the matter, this is critical work at the same time. And if we could encourage more people in other districts to have people on their board that's just as functional, it would be great.
Hey, Ron, if you could tell us, I've looked but forgotten, and you don't need to tell us right now, but if you could send us the information about which neighborhoods don't have representation, then you can share that with our membership, just the neighborhood, no other particulars. So that if any of us know someone in that neighborhood that we think might be a good candidate, we could maybe encourage them to apply to be a member of the board.
Thank you so much. I definitely will.
Is that something you could help us with?
I can.
Okay, great. Thank you very much for your report, and thanks for for being here. Come anytime, but we'll expect you in another 3 months as a minimum. Okay,
Yes,
take
indeed.
care. Thank you. I've noticed that Carmen is back. Carmen, are you able now to speak?
Oh, no.
Oh, oh no, you're still muted. You're still
Yeah,
muted.
you have to hit *6 on your phone.
Can you hear me now?
There you
Yeah.
go.
Okay.
Okay, thank God. This is such a struggle, and I complain all the time, but they tell me everything works, and
Go
then
ahead.
at the meeting it doesn't
Whatever
work.
your
So.
report before something else happens.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys remember, but last spring I had mentioned to you that I was going to be hitting Ferry Street particularly hard because of the condition that it's been, and it's a major thoroughfare, and there are problems there. We have been, I don't know if you've noticed there are differences between Grand and Lombard. The letters have all gone up. I have gotten finally landlords who are now concerned when they get a letter, will call me. I'm able to meet with them outside of their property and let them know what is wrong, what I expect to be, have done to fix the situation. We have cleared out a problematic store. That was a group effort, actually, on Ferry Street. That was a place where people would gather to either use drugs or buy drugs or whatever. We are meeting on. We're involving economic development to help with the businesses there, to get the loans that they might need to make improvements, particularly facade improvements. Again, a lot of people have also sided their homes, are making improvements. I've been working on not only that, but also between Grand and Chapel, and met with one of the major stakeholders there. And we went property by property, and I told him what I expected him to do. So I think with this added effort and a group effort as well, because it's a team, we will be seeing changes that hopefully will stick on Ferry Street. And of course, there are other areas that I also, am worried about. Lombard, Dover. Dover, I'd be going out probably next week. Lombard, I have to make an appointment with actually Alder Redente to walk kind of house by house to see what needs to get done, so I can write the letters to have people comply. And basically that's all I do is I go by house to house and write letters. And many cases I've been getting, it's much better this year so far than it has been in the past. I think people weren't taking the letter seriously, or they thought it would disappear, but I come back with another letter, I knock on the doors, I call the owners, and it's making a difference.
Does that conclude your report?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, any questions in the room? Any questions about LCI or any other work that Carmen is doing? Don't see any in the room. Any questions online? Yes, question from Adam.
I am just questions McGee today. Carmen, I think they recently increased the fines, like the amount of fines you can put on to the landlords and everything like that.
Yeah.
Assuming that money gets collected, the new larger fines, does that go into things like getting rid of, litter or dumping and stuff like that, or is it just go into the general city budget?
I don't know where that money goes. I think it goes to our department, to our property maintenance division. That money is what we use to buy, for example, a vehicle or a truck or repair a truck. It does not go to Public Works. I don't believe at all it doesn't, even though we find them for trash and stuff. We keep whatever fines we get. That's my understanding. And they can amount to a pretty penny.
Any other questions in the room? Okay, thank you very much, Carmen. Appreciate you. See you next month, and let me know if the city doesn't come through on that microphone for you. We'll set you up. Okay.
Thank you. Maybe I need you to speak to IT for me.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
Well, they
Thank
don't
you.
answer the phone anyway.
Okay. Thank you.
Just remind people online that if you are not speaking, if you would just mute yourself, just to keep that, the noise down, even though you're all being great right now. I do not see anyone from economic development from the city of New Haven. I'll just remind people that economic development is down a few staff people, and Carlos was able to make him last month, but I don't see him here today in person or online. Anyone from economic development, city of New Haven? There is not. Okay, so we'll just leave them on the agenda every month, but recognize that sometimes they won't be able to join us. Okay, so our next speaker is supposed to be Jesse Phillips from the Center for Inclusive Growth. I do not see him online, and I just tried to text him and I have not been successful. I will report to you all from my conversations with him, because this is important. just want you all to know, you all can see me even online, right? I just want you all to know that the Center for Inclusive Growth, which, of which, Jesse is why did I do that again? Oh, hold on a second here. Okay, I'm gonna talk with that thing there and figure it out later. So Jesse is the Associate Director of the Center for Inclusive Growth, a collaboration between the City of New Haven and Yale University. And its intention is to support inclusive economic growth in the economic sector in the Black, Brown community, as well as women business owners. This is a collaborative effort funded by Yale University and by the City of New Haven. And the reason why he wanted to come speak to us, and I don't know frankly why he's not here tonight, is because on the last Thursday of this month, which please confirm this for me, but I believe it's the 29th of May is the last Thursday.
That's correct.
Yep. At about this time, at about 6 o'clock, there's going to be a gathering in this very room. There's going to be people from the Center for Economic Growth, and their interest is in talking to people who either currently own a business. So if you know someone who owns a business in Fairhaven, please invite them to this meeting. We're doing our own invitations, but you know, if you're a customer or if you're a friend of a business owner and that business is here in Fairhaven, please invite them. If you know someone that's thinking of opening a business, you definitely want to invite them to this meeting. Why? Because the purpose of the meeting is for the Center for Inclusive Growth staff who will be developing the plan for what to do with this money, this collaboration between the city and Yale University. They are here to listen. They're doing one of these in Dixwell, New Hallville, they're doing one in the Hill. They're going to do about 8 of these all around the city. But this is our opportunity to get our small and maybe not so small businesses, whether they be storefront businesses or construction or landscaping, whatever it is. Now, the Center for Inclusive Growth, of course, will help anybody that wants to open a business, but their focus is on Black, Brown, and women-owned businesses. That is their focus. So again, the 29th, it'll be in our minutes, 6 in the evening. There will be food, there will be translation, there will be childcare if people who sign up for the event say that they want childcare. A licensed childcare provider will be contracted to take care of children. So there's really no reason to not come other than you don't own a business or you're not thinking of starting a business. But if you fall into those categories, please come. Okay. Any questions in the room or any questions online about what I just said? I don't see any questions in the room. I don't see any questions online. Thank you very much. Please help us to spread the word. More information about this will be in the minutes of the meeting. So then we're going to move along here on our agenda. And the next point on the agenda is Hannah Gossett from the Fairhaven Health Center. Hannah, please come on up. Either chair will do. And then we will.
Hi, everybody. I'm Hannah. I recently moved to Fairhaven a year and a half ago. And in March, I got a job at Fairhaven Community Healthcare. So I now live and work in Fairhaven. So I wrote a quick little thing on harm reduction that I just want to take a moment to tell you about. Harm reduction, we're starting a harm reduction program at the Fairhaven Community Healthcare Center. It's in a collaboration with the Upon This Rock shelter. It's at 645 Grand Avenue. And we're going to be doing group counseling sessions, and we're going to be working with people on harm reduction. And I wrote a little bit on harm reduction just to sort of explain it in case people aren't really familiar with what it is. At its core, harm reduction is a public health approach that meets people where they are without judgment. Instead of insisting on immediate abstinence or change, harm reduction focuses on reducing the negative consequences of behaviors, especially around substance abuse. So rather than try to get someone who's using substances to stop using when they aren't ready or don't want to, We're going to instead try to teach them how to use safely, more safely than, can't really use safely, but more safely than otherwise. We're gonna be able to link them to treatment if they want it, when they want it, on their time. It means offering clean syringes to prevent the spread of HIV and hepatitis C, providing naloxone to reverse overdoses, supporting safer use practices, or helping someone access treatment when they're ready. It's also about recognizing that people use drugs for complex reasons and that safety, dignity, and connection are essential to healing. It's not about enabling. A lot of people think that harm reduction is an enabling. You know, you're helping them use is the way people say, and it's not. It's really a way to help people get as safe as possible when they're engaging in behaviors that are dangerous, and helping to help them lead the healthiest lives possible. It's about telling someone that their life has value and that they don't have to, even if they can't stop using drugs, it doesn't mean they don't deserve care, compassion, and respect, dignity, and help. So that's what we're there to do.
And is it not true also that harm reduction programs cost significantly less than the services those people need if they're allowed to continue their current way of living?
It's
in
really
terms of
incredibly
pills
cost effective,
Yeah.
yeah, it really is. I mean, just the treatment for hepatitis B alone is so expensive, you know, if we can prevent, you know, one case, it would, you know, it's huge, it's big. It has a big financial impact as well as on the lives of the people that we touch.
Thank you very much for that. Any questions in the room or any, so Dr. Lagarde, you wanted to mention something and then.
So I wanted to commend Hannah for her comments, but I think Hannah, it would be great if you let the group know, like, they know of somebody, how can they, what do they tell the person that they see who might, you know, should know about your.
If you know somebody struggling, yes, if you know anybody struggling with addiction or not struggling with addiction, using drugs and perfectly happy about it. Send them to Fairhaven, 374 Grand Avenue, ask for Hannah, extension 5856. I will absolutely help them with whatever it is they need help with. And like I said, we'll be having, there will be groups at the shelter and there will be groups at 374 as well, so, yeah. And I wasn't at all nervous until Sue Lagarde showed up. I just want to say,
But I just want to point something out
Yes.
for the record. Can we add Hannah's contact information at the bottom of
It's
the
already in there.
agenda?
It's already in there.
Okay, perfect. And let's just leave it on the agenda month over month so that every time we have the lieutenant's phone number, we have Carmen's number from LCI, we have someone from economic development. That way, any agenda that you pick up, if you find the agenda, you'll have the number for the person responsible for this program. This is an important issue in our community. This is how we make our community safer and healthier for everyone. And so it's really important if you see someone, like Hannah said, struggling or not struggling, but they're using a substance, then and you think they might be open to help, then let's connect them with Hannah. Question in the room, and then I'll go online if there's
I'm
one.
not sure how long your program has been going on.
Brand new.
But are you keeping statistics
We will be,
versus
absolutely.
the old fashioned, you know, abstinence?
Right,
To
absolutely.
see if it's successful, how successful it is.
Yeah, we're creating the measures actually right now.
That's.
Yep,
important.
absolutely. We're gonna try to help reduce the number of 911 calls. Yeah, all of that, and we
Or
will
that
absolutely be able to
people
work
go
with
from
that.
that to not using. That would be a good.
Yeah,
measure
it would
as well.
absolutely be a lovely thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give me just 1 second to see, is there anyone online with a question?
Sally.
Hmm?
Sally.
Adam, do you have a question?
Sally.
Sally.
Oh,
I'm
Sally.
Sally. I'm trying to point at Sally.
Sally,
I
then
still
we'll
can't
go back
find
to
the hands thing on
Oh,
there.
okay,
So-
hi Sally, go ahead.
So I'm really happy to hear about this program and that it's going to be based here in Fairhaven. How will this program interact with any of the city programs like Compass and others that have done some work in the neighborhood? Assuming that they're still operating, I don't know that. And then I have a follow-up.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, we are working, absolutely. I met with, John Leviniak from, Continuum on Friday. We're working in a close collaboration with them. We're referring people to the appropriate program, even if it may not be the program that's within our own agency. It's really, it's turning into a really cool, really beautiful, project. I'm really excited about it.
Yep, yep.
So,
Okay.
so my follow-up is
Then
that
I'm going to use assistant
it would
chief.
be helpful
Well, I'm sorry, there was a follow-up, yeah, go ahead.
to me as a community person who has personally found syringes, used syringes in multiple places, including community gardens, to give us some strategies for what to do if we're not seeing a person there, but we're seeing the evidence of drug use, especially in areas that are with where kids are and other people are. And I apologize because my computer may just automatically update in a minute, so I may. So, but
No.
thank you.
No, thank you for the question. Actually, I will put, my phone number is available. Also, I will come grab.
We've
syringes
already
from
put
you.
it up a couple of
Yeah.
times, thank you,
Terrific.
Adam, and thank you.
Terrific. Yeah, I'll come get your syringes off the street if you need me to. Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Assistant Chief, you had a.
Yeah.
So is your facility going to also provide them a space to use?
This is where it gets tricky. We don't have a designated space. We're sharing space with Upon This Rock, shelter. We have their big room. And we have a little breakout conference room in there as well. And at 374, we have we have some space that we can share for groups as well. But we don't have a center.
So,
There's not gonna be a space.
are you asking, I'm sorry, are you asking whether you're providing a space for people to use?
Correct.
Oh, a safe injection site. So those actually were just approved in Connecticut, but I don't know that anybody's actually nobody's started one yet.
So your facility.
It is not.
So we have to be very careful because it's against the federal law to do that. So if we were to go that route, we'd have to figure out a way to do it outside of any kind of federal funding or federal organization. It's actually, we can't use federal funds to help either to provide sterile, even to provide clean needles, you can't use federal funds.
So I just wanted to be clear for the room.
Yeah.
No, it's good. We have another question. I just want to, before you ask a question, I just want to make emphasize the important point. Upon This Rock shelter was pointed out, that's Pastor Val.
Yeah.
If you have not been, if you went to that shelter a few years ago, or you drove by it and you were scared or uncomfortable, you had every right to be. That is not the shelter that's operating there now. It is beautiful. It is absolutely incredible, from the painting to the way people are treated, the men that are there. It is an amazing place. It is a safe place. I would feel comfortable telling my wife or any woman that I know that you can knock at the door of that shelter and somebody's gonna open that door with a smile on their face, and it is, you will be impressed. If you ask, they will show you the shelter. And this is something that's very well worth supporting in our community. So that's Upon
645.
Upon This Rock shelter. I'm gonna give you a chance to ask your question. Just want to mention, it is the shelter that's next to what used to be Farnham Court, right across the street from the Seatown. Right across the street. Okay, go ahead with your question.
I don't think
Sorry, I
understand what you're actually saying. You are going to assist people in using drugs?
No. That's,
Safely?
well,
I didn't quite get that statement.
so here's what we do. If people are going to be using substances, we're gonna try to show them how to use it more safely, rather than say, smoke crack out of a soda can that you fastened into a crack pipe.
Assisting them in using
So
drugs.
we
Safely, that's what you're saying.
We provide
Now, what is
supplies.
your strategy of getting them off the drugs?
So that's, the whole strategy is that we don't have a strategy for getting them off. It's on their own time. That's what harm reduction is. Harm reduction recognizes the fact that we can't force treatment. Nobody, I mean, there are very few people that respond to treatment when forced. It's something about addiction. Yes, please, Sue.
Yeah, I can just add to that, so the whole concept is to try to meet people where they are. We've all, you probably have all had people you know who died of overdoses, right? Or who've gotten infections from dirty needles. We wanna be there, I mean, and this is a proven model, we're not
Yeah.
making it up, right? It's
Yeah.
been done elsewhere. We wanna be there to make sure that they don't use, you know,
Yes.
they know what happens if they use dirty needles. They know what happens if they, you know, don't do things carefully.
Correct.
And then we want to be there when they have developed a trust with
Yes.
us, so that when they're ready, because we can't force somebody out of addiction, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work, but we wanna be there when they're ready and have developed a relationship with people like Hannah. Others may know Eddie Coelho, who also walks our streets, who's been around for a while. That's the concept behind harm reduction.
I hear the concept, but I think it's ridiculous.
It's
the
So-
opposite of AA, where you.
Okay, excuse me, folks,
Okay,
okay, I'm gonna call order in the room, please, Mr. Chair. Okay, we all have a right to our own opinion.
That's right.
We do not have a right to our own facts. Okay, so if you want to hear the evidence, then talk to the doctors after this meeting or set up a meeting. You'll hear the science behind it. You don't have to agree with it. You don't have to send people there if you don't think it's the right thing. But we do want to inform people of what is happening that follows the best scientific evidence that we have. That's what we're doing here. And we are not being asked as citizens to do anything other than point people there. We think it will help them. That's all we're being asked to do. And if you don't believe that, then you shouldn't point people there. That's all there is to it. Okay, any questions in the room,
I got some.
online? Frankie, you have something you want to ask?
So I'm Frank, I'm the alder of Ward 15.
Cool.
So one of my issues is that in my dealings with harm reduction programs is they seem to put their clients ahead of the needs and the good of the community. Like that's been my, and I've had conversations with people from desk that have gotten pretty back and forth about it.
Yeah.
You know, my opinion is that, you know, a lot of the people that are using the drugs out here aren't from these communities.
Yeah.
They're not from New Haven. They're coming here for these kind of programs. What I want to know is, and this could just your opinion.
Yeah.
How do we change their behavior when they're not in your clinic if part of it is to keep them out of, you know, the police's purview? How do we change their behavior so that we don't have to deal with it outside? Like I want everybody to get help. I have two family members living in one of my apartments right now. They're both lifelong heroin addicts. So it's very personal for me. But on the same breath, I have to call this man 2 or 3 times a day
Right.
because my kids' parents are walking into the school saying they're shooting in the Dunkin' Donuts parking lot. Today, there was 12 of them out there, you know, and just throwing the needles on the floor. And this is a place where the kids walk back and forth. You know, everything has balance, and I'm sure that
Your point is made, let's give the doctor an opportunity to respond.
Can I finish?
But we got your point.
But I didn't finish.
No, but we understand what you're asking.
You don't, because I didn't finish it. You got my update, guys. That was my update. I'll see you in a month.
Serious matter,
Well, this is a serious matter, but we're not.
This is a free meeting of
Right,
freedom of speech,
Right.
believe.
it is
And
freedom
it
of
should be
speech.
in order, yes, it should be. If we have concerns about what's taking this neighborhood down,
Yeah.
I am a tax-paying person here, has been here for over 30 years. I should have an opportunity to speak without being cut down and reviewed.
Yeah.
As
All-
simple as that.
All that I'm saying.
Every time someone says something that you don't like, you cut them off, and I don't think that's fair.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a conversation with her, yes,
Yeah.
but I don't have to be admonished as a resident that living here. This is a freedom of speech here, this place here.
Yeah.
And I've come to these meetings over and over again. I've been a part of this thing for probably 10 years now, and I have watched people want to speak, and you cut them off.
Well,
Give them some space. I know we have a time limit, yes, we do, but if there's a certain situation that's very, very important, that needs to be discussed, it should be discussed without cutting people off. If they go on for 10, 15 minutes, that's another story. But trying to get some information, you cut them off, It's nonsense.
Okay, yeah. I've given you a chance to
Thank
speak.
you.
Let me respond to that. All I was trying to do is keep us focused on what we can do, what we can do, and what we can do is report on what's going on. We are not going to solve this problem. I am not going to stop anyone from having the opinion that they have, but I am gonna stop people. I love Franklin, I respect him, but I can't have somebody go, he made his point. I wanted to give the doctor an opportunity, and even though he's left, I would like for the doctor to respond to the point that he made. Even though the people who are on the street are not in the control of the clinic, just like they're not in the control of the police. But doctor, would you like to respond to?
Yes, I would just love to also mention that I am not a doctor. So,
Oh,
so
okay.
I thank you.
Mhm.
I love more.
So,
So the evidence shows that it does clean up the streets. That this approach does, it's a path to wellness. And it's one that people don't like quite so much because it's not immediate. And I think a lot of times we want a quick fix, we want to make things better right now. And I don't think we can with this, like, it's a process, it takes time. Addiction itself is a process that takes time. And it's just. The evidence out. I should have brought, I'm sorry. I
okay,
didn't bring
so
the evidence with me,
there's,
but I-
these meetings happen every month.
Yeah. I
Please
apologize.
bring evidence,
I will
and
bring
I
some.
would welcome also if residents have evidence to the, what they believe to be evidence to the contrary, let's share that with people. I just didn't want it to, because we've had a history of the meetings just devolving and there's no solution to this. There's no, oh, this is it and we're done. Well, that's all that I'm trying to do, okay? That's, I don't want to control people. Yeah, but please, I would welcome them.
I
I
just
would.
want to say one thing. I hear what you're saying, but also you want to allow people to have a difference of opinion. That
Absolutely.
doesn't mean it's gonna evolve into a brouhaha, but she was trying to say something, so was Frank. Let me speak for 5 or 6 minutes. But I feel like maybe you're uncomfortable with that, but you have to let people have a difference of opinion. What she said is fine, what she said is fine. It's all right to disagree with the speaker, as long as it doesn't get into a.
Exactly.
But I want people to finish speaking, because
Yeah.
sometimes people don't like to get.
When someone's on the agenda, they have time to talk. When someone's in the audience, they have time to ask questions. Okay,
We should be
that's,
allowed to give a difference of opinion as well.
well,
right?
again, differences of opinion can be dealt with. When we finish the meeting, we can talk for as long as we want until they close the library. I'm just trying to keep us on time, and we've gone way over time on this issue. I would love to speak as long as you want after the meeting. I'll set an appointment, I'll buy you a cup of coffee if you want, and let's talk about it. But I just want to keep the meetings moving along, because we have other stuff that, you know, it's not just one issue. Okay? So I respect, and I'm sorry if I cut you off. It was not my intention. My intention is just to keep the meeting going. And I will, Frank is a friend, I'll talk to him after the meeting. Okay. If there are no other questions, I see 2 hands up, but I don't know if those are left over. Eddie or Jiwan?
I do have a question.
Okay, let's go with questions because we've gone way over on this issue. Is there a question?
Mine is not much of a question, but more of, because I know that people were saying, asking questions about how harm reduction can focus on treatment. And one of the things is harm reduction is here to educate, but also connect people to treatment. And at Fairhaven Community Healthcare, we can provide that.
But
So if anyone has any questions, just let me know.
Speaking in favor, and if I cut people off who don't feel comfortable with it or don't understand it, I gotta cut you off. I understand that people have strong opinions about this, and I respect that. I'm just trying to keep the meeting going. If there isn't a question, I'm gonna encourage people from the community to reach out to the clinic to get clarification. I'm gonna encourage people from the clinic, clearly, you need to do some awareness of what the science indicates. Question from Jiwan or question from Carmen?
Yes,
Jiwan, I saw you first.
Yes, I'm ready. This is for the doc and for those who understand harm reduction. I was wondering to help further educate folks in the community, can there be set up can we like set up a tour where we could probably go to Harlem and we could see the harm reduction centers there? Or also we could also visit, Hartford, could they have an initiative that's ahead of New Haven's and they could see what's going on? Because there's documentaries, but if we could just look at it from that approach if it could be organic where it's not like, hey, we're coming, and they could stage it a certain way, like if we could see the raw of how this actually works in those neighborhoods and areas, I think would be good.
Good suggestion, J1. I don't want to prolong this. Let's start with maybe having a conversation with the clinic about at some point having a presentation about here. And then if enough people are interested and we figure out how to visit someplace, we can do that. But for starters, evidence, and certainly anyone that has evidence of programs like that failing, please share it, because we don't want to do something that doesn't work. But the science that I've seen, and I've read a lot about this, the foundation where I work has funded this because the science shows, but there's differences of opinion. Let's talk about those things. Carmen, did you have something to add, a question?
I just wanted to find out from the doctor if the addicted individuals are told about how to. I deal with a lot of the drug addicts on Ferry Street and on different streets, and they impact the neighborhood, and they need to know that they're impacting the neighborhood. Is there any education whatsoever on how to interact with the community? Because they are very destructive.
Yes, yeah, I'm on it. I'm on it.
So the answer is yes, and that's a conversation that I'd encourage people in the room to have with you.
Absolutely.
And now recognizing that you're not a physician,
Right,
but
thank you.
you are the administrator of the
Thank
program.
you, yeah, I'm a
Okay.
I was gonna ask,
Good.
what was your position?
program manager.
Program
Sorry,
manager.
thank you.
And are you a social worker or?
Yeah, I'm actually coming in from an addiction counselor.
Okay.
I was at the Apple Foundation as an addiction counselor.
Okay. Good to know that about you. And then Carmen, you know how to reach the clinic. We're gonna have Hannah's phone number on the agenda. I encourage you to call her directly and have a conversation with her, because the clinic has to understand, they do understand. This has been my experience with the clinic. They will talk to you and tell you what they're doing and why. You just need to ask them. I'm just gonna ask that we not ask them with 30 people in the room, so we keep bouncing back and forth and go away with our affirming what we already believe. Let's see if we can learn something on both sides, okay? So with that, I'm gonna move us on the agenda. Thank you very much. Thank you, Hannah.
Yep.
And again, my apologies to anyone that I may have offended. It was not my intention, and I would like to continue the conversation with anyone who would like to continue it. Okay, next on the agenda, we have the Fairhaven Library, and Kirk is not here today, so
Yes.
come on in and introduce yourself. And
I am Tristan. I'm a librarian here at Fairhaven, and I'll be pretty quick here. We've got some wonderful things coming up, and the first thing that I want to mention is the Fairhaven Day. We are bringing in again Laurel City Swords, which is a historic fencing organization. They'll do demos and education on fencing. So around 2 o'clock, if you're in the area here for Fairhaven Day, stop by and see them in action. Other than that, we also have the seed library, which has started up, and we've been restocking that with seeds. So if you're into gardening and you want to pick up a couple of seeds, or you have some extra and you'd like to donate them, you can come to the library anytime. We've got a old card catalog that's been converted to a seed drawer. So you can pick up and sign up as many seeds as you'd like, or donate any. So you are all welcome to that. And finally, I said it was going to be quick, so I'm doing my best. Finally, we have the English and the Spanish conversation clubs that are going very strong. And if you want to learn Spanish, practice Spanish, or you want to practice English a bit, you are welcome to come to those. Those are every Wednesday at 4 o'clock. And that's everything I have to say. So unless there's any questions, or I can take any questions.
any questions in the room? Any questions online? I don't see any hands raised. Thank you very
All
much
right.
for that information
Thank
and
you, everyone.
appreciate the brevity. So we're
Thank you so much.
We're doing good here on time. Okay, so moving right along, I'll point out on the agenda that the next point is executive actions, and you'll see there's nothing there, but I just want to remind people that periodically something will come to the management team, and there's no time. There's no time to provide a letter of support or something before the group meets. Whenever there's the time, we put it on the agenda, but should there not be, in order to be able to support programs that are good for our community, we will make a decision as an executive team to go ahead and support. We have decided as an executive team that everyone, the unanimous, all 5 of us have to agree that this is a good thing. If we don't agree, then we don't provide the letter. And the only resolution for that is for the group to come back to us after the whole body has met. So there's nothing there because nothing has come before us, but I just want to remind people, as I try to do periodically, that that's the way we're operating now. Any questions about that? Any questions online? Okay. And then moving on, Fairhaven outreach. Okay, so at the last executive committee meeting, we had a meeting about doing outreach and trying to get more people involved. We have a mailing list that has like 700 people on it. We typically have somewhere 40 to 50 people at the meeting. We want more people. 20,000 people live in Fairhaven. So we developed a poster. Actually, let me give credit to Adam. We talked about a poster.
Easier. Easier made that. I just edited it so that it fits on a page.
Oh, perfect. So credit to both of you, to both you and Katisha. So I have 2 copies, one black and white. This is the color one. It's very big, and I'm gonna leave it here on the table, and I'm gonna ask you to come and look at it and write any comments or suggestions that you have. Already, for example, somebody suggested instead of this picture, which is of River Street where no one goes, we should have a picture of Grand Avenue here. Okay, but any suggestions you have, if you read Spanish, any chance, Adam, that you could put this up on the screen? Can you do that?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and we can send it out to people. There's no rush to do this other than we do wanna, on Saturday, we're gonna have 1,000+ people here for Fairhaven Festival. So we'd like to have something to hand out, but if you have any thoughts about this, please write them right on here or on the back. I will leave a pen on here. And we wanna see, even if we print some for Saturday, we're not gonna print thousands and thousands. We're gonna wait until we get people's comment. But we wanted to make it a participatory exercise. Any questions about outreach? We also are thinking that once we have these made, we'll hand them out through the library. Anybody that any resident wants to hand them out, and then some of us are gonna go door to door to the businesses on Grand Avenue and to other businesses. We can give you copies if you know a business owner, so we can put it up. It says when we meet, and it gives you the QR code to our website. So we're and it's in English and Spanish. So anything you can do to help us to get the word out, let's try to get more people on our mailing list and more people coming to meetings. Any questions about this, either in the room or online? Pretty clear, right? Questions? Okay. Again, please take a moment to take a look. We need various eyes on this, and particularly if you speak Spanish, it help us with I think we got the translation right, but if you can help with that, that would be great. Okay, with that said, then we're gonna go to our Alder reports, and Alder Ellen Kupo is not here. Did she submit a report?
Not that I saw.
Okay. Alder Carolyn Canby Smith is not here, but she told us she had a committee meeting and she did submit a report.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, Adam, do you have it? No, normally Anna has it, but she's not here.
Yeah, give me 1 second.
The email. I know one
Oh,
of
yes,
the,
I just
yeah.
found it. I
Oh.
can do that if I found it.
Okay, go for it, Christina.
Right, so yeah, she's at City Hall for the City Services and Environmental Policy Committee. New Haven Bike Month, it is the 10th year of New Haven Bike Month. There'll be 30 events happening across the city throughout May. And I'll put a calendar into the minutes. And then she also said Fairhaven Day Festival is coming up this Saturday, the parades and festival, celebrating community, local arts and artists, culture, all that good stuff. And there's also a link for that, and that's all I have.
okay, right, thank you very much.
Oh, wait. Are you gonna say, I just read your follow email?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll just move on,
Sorry. I didn't see it.
no. Yeah. So Anna Fest is not here, Alder Sarah Miller.
So I'm not gonna go to the front, I'll just stop.
Yeah.
We,
The problem is people can't see you.
oh,
So
so
that's why.
we have Fairhaven today, everybody knows, which is very exciting. So we have a lot planned and it's not gonna rain.
Yeah.
Rain is not allowed on Fairhaven Day. We have a no rain policy. What? So it will definitely not rain. It actually does look like it's gonna rain in the morning and after five.
After three.
Oh, five.
Five, okay.
Yes, so we have, the parade, lines up at Martinez School at 11, steps off at 12. Everybody is welcome, even if you're not with a group, everybody can walk in the parade, or you can set up if you wanna watch it from Grand Avenue. We have like 800 people registered on the parade, it kept growing, it was supposed to be a little smaller, but everybody wants to do it, which is great. And we, have tons of things happening at the school in addition to what was happening at the library. We have something like 80 resource and activity tables. And music on the stage, and it's gonna be really fun. The street will be closed down. Thank you, police, from Atwater to Ferry Street, Grand Avenue will be closed. We'll have a bike rodeo, so you can bring roller skate, whatever, just
Right here.
to Ferry. So right here, in front of here.
You could go ferry, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go on Ferry.
Picture the whole. Okay.
Yeah. So bring your friends, bring your family, etc. The other thing I wanted to mention is, this is really, really important. Next Tuesday, May 6th, we've been talking for a while about a grant that we got from the state to redo Grand Avenue. It's about an $8 million grant, including the city match. There's also been money sitting for a while to redo Ferry Street. And the decision was made because they intersect to do them together. So there's an initial draft plan for the redesign. There's gonna be a presentation of that plan and an opportunity for feedback. So I got flyers. And it will be at Fame, Tuesday, May 6th at 6 p.m.
Where's that?
Fame School,
Where's that?
Brandon Blatchley, 255 Blatchley is the address, 225. So they got it
At
wrong.
6 o'clock on Tuesday?
You said
Yes.
25?
I think it's
I think it's
255. 255, yeah.
255
Yeah.
Grand.
Blatchley.
Flash.
Well, it's the corner of Grand and Blatchley.
Oh.
Exactly.
Tuesday.
And if, like Joyce, if you can't come, but you'd like to see the plans, we can share them with you after, and you can send feedback through us.
Okay, I have babysitting duties that day till all at 8.
Okay, well, you can bring, I mean, depending on what the babies are like, you're welcome to bring them if you'd like. The other thing I forgot to mention about Fairhaven Day, since Frankie's not here, is after the official Fairhaven Day, there's a wrestling show
Yes.
at Fairhaven School, which I don't know what to say about it, I'm thinking about it. But it is apparently a really big deal. They've sold like a ton of tickets. There's all these people flying in who are well-known wrestlers. It's a big thing. And so everything's on the Fairhaven Day website. If you've never seen anything like this, might as well have the experience once in your life, get the tickets. It's gonna be right here. They're bringing like this rink in. I don't know what to say about it other than that I got tickets because I'm
Because why not?
It's a show.
Yes, there's lucha, like the lucha libre, Mexican wrestlers, anyway. So encourage everybody to check it out. The other thing I'll just say is that, you know, the city budget process is ongoing right now. So if you have reviewed it, if you have thoughts or comments that you want to share with the alders, we welcome your comments as well. There was a very long hearing last night. But the process is still ongoing.
Okay, I'll ask as always, any questions in the room, any questions online about anything, Alderman Miller?
I'm sure you don't have any. I've been trying to find out what's going into where Rocco's used to be. Nobody seems to know. Do you have any idea? Someone said a bakery, someone said a restaurant. Does anybody know?
I don't
the police
remember,
know?
Carmen might remember.
That's, oh man. I do know they just got the construction site, they was doing an illegal bar downstairs.
Yeah.
And the city shut them down. They had
At
to
Rocco's?
reapply.
Yeah,
Oh,
In the basement.
In the basement,
Oh,
yeah.
either one.
So
but I forget what the plan is.
I think it's some type of restaurant type of deal.
I was hoping for a nice Italian bakery like Rocco's.
Yeah. Okay, so we could
Okay.
speculate, I'm gonna do the same thing I did with the other, we could
I'm
speculate,
just
it's not helpful,
asking if
yeah, no,
anyone
no,
knows.
you asked, so.
Keep talking.
Yeah, ask and answer, the answer is, we don't know the answer.
Okay.
So let's make it a point to ask economic development
Somebody
to
find-
inform us.
Any other questions?
Any questions online? Okay, thank you very much, thank you. And then, Alder Crespo is not with us, so particularly the alders that are not with us and they have not sent any sort of information, I would ask if you are a constituent of that alder, please take a moment to call or email that alder and ask them. We can understand if they can't come, but please send us information so that we can be informed. And the person most likely to get them to do this is a constituent. So I won't point them out, they're all on here, all the emails and all the phone numbers of all the alders in Fairhaven are always on the agenda, as well as the police, LCI, now we're also gonna add the clinic, and economic development. We want you to engage directly with people from the city and encourage them to interact with us as a group. Okay, so with that said, thank you very much. You may have noticed, especially if you're in the room, and then I'll bring this back up again for the people who are online. You may notice we're configured differently right now. And the reason why we're configured this way is we wanted to give people at home, well, actually, we wanted to give presenters an opportunity to present without having to divide their attention between the people in the room on the left and the people on the screen on the right. So when a presenter presents, we will always ask them to come here. And since you're the live audience, they will speak to you. They are being recorded from the front. So everybody online sees them from the front. And then the speaker here picks up everything. We're not perfect. This is not perfect. We think it's better than the way it used to be. But we would welcome feedback if you liked it better the other way. The only reason we did it is because we saw speakers going like, they didn't know where to look. Now you know where to look. We're always open to trying to improve things in the way the meetings are run. We're always open to any effort to outreach in the community. Anything you think we should add to the meeting, we welcome that. We welcome that feedback. Please talk to anyone on the executive team, doesn't have to be me, anyone that you know you feel comfortable with, and make your suggestion, and then we will bring it up as we always do. The last Thursday of every month, we meet for at least an hour and we discuss and set the agenda for the meeting, which is always the first Thursday of the month. Are there any questions about that or any really quick suggestions or ideas? Online, I'll bring it back so that. we can see
I just want to mention that, yeah, people have already been messaging me with kind of positives and negatives. So I don't think it'll stay exactly like this because there definitely are some concerns with, especially for the Zoom crowd. We don't know what's going on in the room anymore. But so, yeah. Do we have feedback? So keep it coming.
Yeah, we welcome that. So we have the Fairhaven Day on Saturday. Parade starts at 10. At where?
Martinez.
Martinez School.
At 11 o'clock.
Check on James Street. James and Salt and Stall, I believe, is where the parking lot is. And then we have the next management team meeting the first Thursday of next month. any final announcements? Did we miss anything, that people want to make sure the community knows about online in the room? If we do not have any additional things, I noticed we have 17 people online and we have 13 people in the room. By any chance, did we make, quorum? Can we approve the minutes?
Uh, I don't think so. I don't think.
How many people are members? You've been, okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, eight in the room. How many do you have online?
We have one, two,
Approve the minutes,
three,
How many do you?
four,
hold on one second.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sophia, are you? Yes, 11. So 11
11.
plus, how many did you say in the room?
19.
So 19 total. That does push us over quorum. Yes.
Okay, so may I have a, yeah,
What's quorum?
what's quorum now?
Quorum as of right now would be 18 people.
How many do you need for
18,
quorum?
18.
Oh.
18, and we have 19.
So we have 34 voting members. So you need half plus one. So
That's what the percentage is.
Oh,
Okay, do we need a motion to approve the minutes?
no,
Oh, no, we don't need a motion, right? We just want to say
that's automatic.
okay, so.
Yeah,
so the
you-
minutes can be approved.
speak now or forever hold your peace about the last month's minutes.
Anything wrong in the minutes? Acclamation. Okay, we have been acclaimed, so now we don't have to push it to next month. Okay, so with that, motion to conclude the meeting?
Quick note, Lee, Sophia asked about Riverfest. There is no Riverfest this
No
year. Is that-
Riverfest, we kick the year off. Okay, do I have a second to conclude the meeting? I see Mary Ann's hand up. We are concluded. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Please look at the, thank you everyone online. Thank you for your patience. Good. Look at the
And,
post right on it.
Anyone has thoughts on the Zoom setup, especially we Zoomers, feel free to email it to the Fairhaven CMT at
Yeah, right in the back.
gmail.com or hit up. Yeah, Sophia, there's no Riverfest this year.
Yeah, no Riverfest. I'm gonna shut down here the library, okay?
All right.
Okay, bye.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Night, Adam. Thanks.